Thank you for your gift. It makes me really happy. Here are 6 functional tools or gadgets that I use in woodworking and DIY. Number 1 is this magnetic wristband that holds your bolts and nuts or push pins or even your drill bits and spade bits. It is very handy for most DIYs where you need to handle your screws and washers that could be falling all over the place. Having a magnetic wristband like this keeps all of those hardware handy so you can focus on getting your projects completed the way you set it out to be. It also comes with a telescopic grabber that you can use to grab things that are further away from you. It also has a magnetic belt clip that you can use to hold certain tools like pliers and screwdrivers. Next up is a low profile dust separator. This one works really well with your existing shop vacuum. You just need a 5-gallon bucket which will serve as your collection bucket, and then you just use the power from your shop vac to serve as the suction machine, and the dust gets collected in the 5-gallon bucket. As you can see, the top fits perfectly on a regular 5-gallon bucket. It comes with an angle connector that you just connect to the top of it, and that part goes onto your shop vac, and on the other end is where you will connect your regular vacuum hose. As you can see, I have an empty bin there, and then I'm going to use sawdust that I had collected previously and use that as a test. If you look closely, you would see the cycloning on the top of the lid there, and that will continue until all of the particles fall down into the bucket. And there you can see that the bin is still empty, and then if we look in the bucket, you will see that the sawdust was all collected in the bucket. Very good efficient system, will save you a lot of money on filters. Next up is an automatic vacuum switch. This one works kind of with the previous one, that it allows you to connect your vacuum as well as your power tools to the same circuitry, and when you turn on your power tool, the vacuum also turns on automatically. When you power off your power tool, it automatically turns off the vacuum. So that saves you the hassle of going back and forth with turning on the vacuum and turning it off between what you're working on. In just a moment here, I'll show you a demonstration of how it works. You would see that it really works handy, and you could imagine how much time this will save you. So now I have my table saw on, and I don't know if you heard it, but the vacuum is also on. It turned on automatically, and you would see what happens when I turn off the table saw. All you have to do is hook up the vacuum as well as the power tools to the circuitry, and then you turn the switch on to auto. And once you switch off your power tool, in my case it's a table saw, and in about 6 to 7 seconds it turns off the vacuum automatically. Next up is a Japanese handsaw, and this one is a double-sided handsaw. Both sides are extremely sharp. You have to be very careful how you use it, but what that means is it will cut into wood like butter, almost like butter. I shouldn't say like butter, but it cuts really well. And I found out that butting up another piece of wood next to it makes for a very clean cut, like I'm showing you here. And just in case you're wondering, it can easily cut through a 2x2 or 2x4 piece of lumber. Next up are one of my favorite tools in the shop. They are also called router table setup bars, but I use them mostly on my table saw to set the height of my blade. They also come in very handy because you can use them to get accurate angles if you're trying to make an angle cut on a piece of lumber. All of them have, well, all but one come with an angle also that you can just use to measure whatever angle is indicated on each of the bars there. I have used these a number of times and they're very, very accurate. And included is a piece of steel wire tie that you can just use to hold all of them together if you don't want to keep them in the case like that. And the last one in this series are right angle clamps. I use this one mostly when I'm building shelves or cabinetry. They are like my second or third pair of hands that helps me to hold two pieces of boards at a 90-degree angle, and you can see how it works there. It's pretty simple to use, but it saves you a lot of time and makes projects like this go very easy. Until I see you in the next video, as usual, I hope you have a tangible experience of God's love, especially in this season where we celebrate the coming of His love that is unconditional to all of us.